Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the next episode of Thrive Talk. And today we're back at social media. We've been talking about it in previous episodes, and we just want everybody out there to get the foundations right of starting up their Facebook pages. So we've got Justin again here today, and Gerard, of course, my co-host. Welcome everybody, and as usual, it's going to be interesting.
Yes, thank you very much. Always excited to be here.
Yeah, Billy, Gerard, it's always a pleasure to be here, and it's absolutely stoked that we're part of Thrive Talk. So, I mean, let's get Facebook out now.
Absolutely. And I think, so many people are waiting in anticipation of what we said and what we're going to do. And I believe that what we've got is going to change everything and everybody's perception of how Facebook should be used.
No, I mean, just jumping on that point, and I bump my heads a lot now. I spend a lot of time in the industry talking to a lot of companies that do a lot of marketing, and the biggest challenge I come up against is why Facebook? I mean, we're not getting the organic reach, we're not getting any of that. And what I do is I spend a lot of my time as an audience strategist having a look at how communities, how businesses and startup entrepreneurs can actually harness the power of Facebook to actually start developing that community, to start developing that relationship. I mean, a lot of us still think that Facebook is a mom and pop's platform, but the power behind what Facebook business has to offer small, medium enterprises surpasses what sort of I feel the general web can actually offer startup businesses.
What I've experienced as well, and you can still see it, I mean, when you bring people into the business, those that doesn't go out to physically attend or host meetings, they go onto Facebook in particular. That's their preferred platform, and then they go and spam.
Yeah.
They go and throw out as many ads or notices as they can, and they're hot selling. They're trying to reach audiences. They go around, they join groups, especially big groups. I mean, we've got groups there up to 60,000 plus 100,000 members. And those groups are dedicated towards either MLM or work online or whatever the case might be. So the expectation is that you will find a suitable audience for yourself there. So the people typically will go out, they join these groups, and then they start spamming their own ads there. Meanwhile, everybody else is doing the same. Yep. So you just got a water hole where a bunch of spammers comes together to spam each other with their sales, and you don't get any traction there. Because even for myself, I mean, having joined those, put out a few ads, I don't even bother to read everybody else's there.
Sure. I mean, it becomes noisy, and that's the biggest problem.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people say to me, Justin, it's almost impossible to get organic reach. And I'm going to beg to differ on that. It's not that Facebook's the problem. It's us as human beings are the problem. We're always looking for that short, quick fix. I mean, with so many powerful tools out online, like Canva, that allows you to sort of drop in a quick post or drop in a quick image, put in some text, and then auto-respond it. The problem is that we as human beings are intelligent beings. I mean, we're not going to sort of undermine anybody here, but we also demand that if I'm on your page, I, in a sense, demand that I actually have some interaction with the human being on that page.
Because, but I think that's where a lot of people make the mistake. They still think that they should be selling.
Yes.
And that's not the way of marketing. Like you mentioned in previous conversations as well, they should actually trip over your content.
Most definitely. I mean, you want your marketing to become a point of discussion rather than, oh my word, here's another sales pitch. You want people to say, wow, this is actually really, really insightful, and the value that I'm being able to walk away with this, whether it's just one simple point or whether it's three simple points, it allows you to get in front of that audience, come from a space of genuine wisdom. Okay, so I've got the tongue tied up over there, but you become genuine.
Yes.
And people start seeing that you're a human being, that you make mistakes. We're not perfect, and neither should your storytelling on Facebook. So if you're going to start using your marketing, come from a space of storytelling. We've seen it, we've heard about it as kids growing up. You always just hear your grandparents tell you the story from the old days, and as you grew up and you start listening to the culture, start listening to other way people talk about their beliefs or their culture or their business, where they come from a story, you're almost enticed to listen to the story. You're not being pitched. You've been woven into the fabric of that business. You become part of it, and you're almost in sync with that business. And you say, well, this resonates with me. And if it's resonating with me, let me give it a shot. So if you're going to give out some great information, a pointer here is don't make it overcomplicated. Don't try and be too clever. Just be clear about what you're doing, and your audience will pick it up. They will thank you for it. They will want to share that, and that's how your organic reach starts to happen. How many times have you put out an ad and expected people to share it, and you sort of look at it and say, but this is such a great sales content. Why is nobody sharing it? Because people don't want to share what they feel sold on. So if they're feeling sold, they don't want to share it. So what I found is it's not the approach. It's about the level of quality that you're putting into your effort of work. If you think Facebook is a 5-minute thing a day, and I go and auto post and I go and auto schedule and I just let it run by itself, nothing's going to happen with it. Because I'll give you an example of the Boston bombings, and there was a lot of auto posting going out. A lot of people had their auto schedulers set up for congratulations to the winners of the Boston None of them were really aware that a bomb had just gone off and maimed and killed so many people. And the backlash that came from this, the audience sat back and said, how unempathetic are you? I mean, don't you know it? Haven't you been watching the news? Where you guys are you under? And that sort of almost evolved into a bit of a revolution where people actually started realizing if you post at 1 o'clock, there's always a post at 1 o'clock coming out in the scheduler. People realize that this is not really a business or a human interacted page. It's a mod, and we're just using the automated tools to make our lives easier. It would be equivalent to putting an Android robot in your shop front and expecting that person to actually deal with your customers.
Yeah.
You might have 1 or 2 take-ups, but you're going to lose a lot of your audience coming because there is no human interaction.
And that's important because if you just think about why do the old butchers still survive?
Yeah, but it's so true.
That's like a serious example, because people are going to that butcher because they've got a relationship.
Of course.
And it happens over time. And I mean, my dad's one of those guys. He's been going to the same butcher since I can remember.
Yeah.
And it's because there's more of a relationship than, I mean, you could probably go and find meat closer to home at any place, but that relationship has pulled him back to that butcher all of the time.
And it's always that sense that the butcher knows his audience, he knows his customers. If you walk into the butchery, he knows exactly how you like your fillet steak, what T-bone you want, how you like it wrapped, do you want it spiced, there is that relationship that you build. So just in giving you I'm going to give you 4 pointers over here when it comes down to what you should be doing and what you can do right now to actually start spiking your engagement is become personal. When I mean personal, start telling stories about who you are. If you're a company page or if you are in an organization, introduce your colleagues to your audience. People want to not only relate to a timeline cover or profile picture, they want to see who's actually working in your business. 2, be extremely helpful. And that means not just going and sort of copying and pasting somebody else's article. Have a read through it. Put in your own notes, maybe cut a short, quick video about the 5 steps to changing what you're doing right now, if that's the case. Don't just go and copy and share it with somebody else's. That's great, but it's not going to give you that extremely helpful point of view or inspiring. Tell stories that make people feel good. Yes. Whether it's happened within your company, whether it's happened in the community, whether it's one of your customers' testimonials. Be awe-inspiring. Just look for those captures that actually capture that emotion. And then lastly, I mean, that's what makes the world go round, and that's humor. I mean, if you can really sort of cut in some humor or find a great post that makes people laugh, that's great. I hear a lot of people saying humor post doesn't really work. Depends. Sometimes a humor post can get somebody to forget about your brand as quickly as they saw that post. So it's how do you word it, how do you tie it in, and how do you bring it to life for your audience. So if you want to follow those 4 steps, we can carry on with this in the next talk, but I think those 4 steps will get you going and get you under wraps in getting that communication going on your page.
Perfect. Yes, Gerard.
Yeah, that actually confirms what I've experienced going out on Facebook as well, because sometimes you do go to these groups, MLM, work online group for argument's sake. That's the audience you expect to find there. However, as we said earlier on, everybody's there just to spam. But if you go through those posts, there are the odd ones standing out. Most of them don't even get comments. And then you will find that one that has got within an hour or two, he's got 300-400 comments,
Yeah.
and people are interacting and engaging. So there's a bit of a buzz being created.
Sure.
So that guy's supposed to stand out.
Yeah, they do.
So yeah, it's definitely the way he approach it, and also the content that he's providing.
Yeah, it's all about your content. I mean, and you can't say it enough. I mean, content is king. I mean, if you go out and you just grab a quick image from Google or a low-res image and you put it out compared to a high-res image, just do yourself a favor, do a split test. See, put out a low-res image and put out a high-quality image and have a look at what the engagements are. Second of all, is that I lost my train of thought there for a moment. Is that high-quality content that goes out has got to come from that space, so it's got to be relevant. If you use photographs of your business, don't take a generic photograph of people that aren't really in your business. Take real photographs of real people that work for you or that work with you. I mean, that is that relationship building. It's that going out. Talking about what you're saying in groups, and it's what can do a lot of brand damage. And I think I've heard you refer to this before, Karen, is from your warm list. I don't want to sort of form list.
Yeah, that's typically what we find is people when they join, especially if it's their first experience in either multi-level or online business, they go out and immediately they go and sell.
Yes.
The immediate circle of influence, which is their warm list.
Yes.
They go and sell these people. So then those people immediately, when you are being sold, as you have confirmed as well, you feel antagonized.
Yes.
You don't want to engage, you don't want to be sold. So now he needs to, his warm list eventually become his cold list. Those people doesn't want to talk to him anymore because he just now yabba on about this business that he's trying to sell you. I mean, that's typically what we talked about in one of the previous episodes as well, is people sign up, the excitement is high, he's in the honeymoon phase.
Yes.
Now he's selling his hot list, which now become his cold list, and eventually, if he keeps on selling, they become his blacklist. He's now blacklisted. I mean, don't phone me.
Don't phone me. You're blocked. But
Yes.
the same thing happens on social media.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a look at it and you're going out to all of these groups which have fantastic reach, which have fantastic potential to grow businesses
Yeah.
like us, but if you go out there and you do that selling point of view, you're going to become the blacklisted sheep of that. Some of those admin will block you from their page, or they will stop your post going out, and which is really unfair because that creates brand damage. Even though you've gone and done it as an individual, what a lot of individuals don't understand is that they create that brand damage for the entire organization.
Yes, they do.
Because I come across and I get myself banned from a group, but it's not me that's been banned, it's actually the organization, because I am a representative. So those kind of keys you need to look at, making sure that if you are in an MLM system or if you are in a community, how are you protecting your brand? It's always coming about brand first, me second. And you've always got to look at how are we putting the brand's best foot forward by telling a great or inspiring story, or giving away some useful help, or just getting somebody to laugh on a Friday is a great way to build that, even inside the group. Because you might not be selling your product in the group, but you get enough people having a look at your comments, engaging with your quotes, soon enough, or sooner than later, they're actually going to click on your link and come and see what you do. And that's where that hook is. You've now got them on the line. It's where you reel them in slowly. Don't fight them, because you know if you keep tugging, your line's going to snap. And there you've lost that fish. But if you allow them to bite the hook, you reel them in slowly as they come over to your page. Continue with the useful stories, the helpfulness, being personal, and the humor. And what will happen is you start that relationships, like picking somebody up at a bar. I mean, you don't sort of walk in there and say, "Hey, baby, you want to go in for a quickie?" And wink, wink. I can tell you what, you get a good wetty across the ears. But you go in there from a space of, hey, start a conversation, get to know the person a little bit better, and you might end up having a lovely evening. Or take the other route round and sell yourself, and you could end up with a warm ear. One of the two. But I mean, it's part and parcel of life. So what we do in life doesn't mean it has to change because it's now on digital or it's on social. We don't have to become somebody we're not. We just need to be who we are. People would accept that. But when you come across as that fake, and I'm doing so well, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that, people see straight through it. They can read your body language. They can see exactly where you've fallen short. So if that's any great advice for you thrivers out there, looking forward to seeing what you do with your pages.
Absolutely. Thank you, Justin, for being here once again. And we'll definitely call you into more episodes in Thrive, especially with what we're planning and what we're doing. And we're all looking forward to that.
Just a quick, guys, if you are hanging on, and I know James has sort of been warding you off with the 101 questions. I've been tagged by Villiers every now and then. We need to get this going. There is something phenomenal on its way, and I really don't want to set the expectations too high, but if you can just hang on, we're going to roll something out that I think is going to thrive into the next best thing in South Africa.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Gerard, as
Yeah.
usual, thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I've seen little bits already as we are developing, and I'm very, very excited.
thank
So
you.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next phase. Thank you very
Awesome.
much.
Thank you for joining us again today. Remember, after this episode, once again, there will be another success story in Thrive International, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers for now.
Good.
Hi everyone, Christy here from Australia. It's just a quick short message to let you know about Thrive International and how much I'm loving it. I'm really excited. It's one of the best online opportunities that I've been involved with. I've only been in a real short time, couple of weeks, and I've already earned a few $1,000s. So yeah, I'm really excited. It's amazing, and I've only shared it with a couple of people. So imagine if I shared it with more, the growth that I'm seeing is crazy. People are really loving the opportunity and jumping on board fast. The ownership, you know, very transparent, and leadership's amazing. Yeah, what I was going to say, I'm just really excited about it, really happy, and I'd love to share it with a lot more people. Their vision for this company is truly like nothing you've seen before. So yeah, if you haven't heard of it, check it out, Thrive International.